Dragons are legendary creatures, and even their remnants carry great power. The age of the dragon this remnant comes from is 1. Wormling. Wormlings are baby dragons, anywhere from newly hatched to 5 years old. The color of the dragon this remnant comes from is 1. Black. Black dragons have acid breath. They are typically evil and inhabit swamps or marshes. The remnant of this dragon is an eye. Dragons are extremely perceptive. Some say their very eyes are imbued with power. Today's characters are Automatic 3. Damon Arson de Boucherie. May death be ever swift. Damon is a lavender-skinned, half-elf man with short, white hair and red eyes. He is slightly tall and lanky, wearing dark robes and a scarf. Automatic 5. Frederick Fitzgerald Farmington. Finally! Seems like you've come to your senses. Frederick is a young, tan-skinned human with styled blonde hair and hazel eyes. He is tall and muscular, wearing regal armor and a winged helmet with a cape bearing his country's symbol. Automatic 6. Garter Velt. Well, let's see what's going on here. Garter is a middle-aged, copper-scaled dragonborn man with black horns and blue eyes. He is very tall and stocky, wearing muted priest robes. Automatic 9. Rael Einmont.
Oh boy, I've been waiting for this one.
Rael is an anthropomorphic goat with black fur and golden eyes. He is very short and thin, with curled horns, tan hooves, and a glowing tattoo on his forehead. Now let's ascend the Tower of Destiny.
My name is Rael, and I was just looking around for some information about a person who may have stopped by here once. Her name's Levon. I actually used to be a halfling up until about 4 or 5 years ago. I was a pretty big hotshot. I even ended up getting my crush from Academy as my fiance. But then I met Levon. She appealed to my more carnal side. Morning after, I woke up to this body and this tattoo on my forehead. After being treated like an animal for enough years, you start to believe you're not a person anymore. My mind always feels fuzzy, and after a while, I go to a monastery and they accept me. They had me learning Kung Fu since day one. After about 4 or so years with those guys, it was time for my personal journey. So I figured, hey, why not find Levon? See if I can get my body back.
Garter and Rael stand in a sea of fog. Before them loom stone walls and thick wooden gates flecked with moss. 2 gargoyles leer down at the pair, faces frozen in grotesque snarls. Though Rael is almost half his height, Garter is slightly cowering behind him.
Maybe they gave us the wrong address. Let's just leave.
Give it a bit of time, bud. We only knocked a few seconds ago.
Garter sighs. When he looks back up, there is only one gargoyle perched atop the wall.
Oh, hell no.
As he gathers his things and turns to leave, the towering gates unlatch. They creak apart just a little, revealing a tall, orcish butler. He regards them with unenthused orange eyes and a mild frown. A scar stretches across his nose. His black hair gleams in a bowl cut, sharp and neat to match his fine servant clothes.
Good afternoon. Are you perhaps lost?
A little. We're looking for, what was it called?
The Tower of Destiny?
This place is the very same. On what business have you ventured here for?
We saw the bulletin request over in Hearthland. Y'all needed an exorcism? This place definitely looks haunted.
Ah, I see. A moment, please.
The butler ducks back inside, and the gates clunk shut. Garter now notices that there are 4 gargoyles frozen atop the wall, grinning down at the 2 of them. He clutches his staff closer, but Rael gives him a reassuring pat on the leg.
Nah, this place is way too creepy.
I think it's got a neat theme going for it.
The gate unlatches and opens wider. Standing next to the butler is an elf with a shaven head and dark brown skin. She is dressed in an elegant shawl embroidered with moons and stars. Her black dress pours down into a perpetual cloud of smoke at her feet. She studies them over a small pair of glasses, then produces a wand and points it at Garter.
Now, hold on now.
Pray aloud.
Divine Majesty, we come before you today as humbly as we know how, imploring that you guide us by the light on death's horizon, that our hearts and minds are enriched by your solemn reminder.
Okay, good. You're a real priest. Follow me.
The woman glides back through the gates. The butler follows, as does Rail and a flabbergasted Garter.
Okay.
The walls open up to a large circular courtyard with a lone Bergfried rising up from the center. More gargoyles cling to its dark, water-stained sides, grinning fiendishly off into the distance.
I am Destiny. Welcome to my tower. While it's fun to have new faces around here, ask permission before you touch anything, in the interest of keeping your face on.
There is a large shed beside the tower. 2 laborers are mechanically hoeing the ground in what must be a new garden. Nearby, a blonde human in glittering armor frowns thoughtfully over a chessboard. They both recognize at once that this is an old acquaintance.
Oh, it's the prince from the brothel.
Frederick looks up, surprised. With a smile, he leaves the chessboard behind and trots up to the pair. Well, well, if it isn't the priest and the goat boy. I hope you're faring well, old friends.
Oh yeah, likewise, bud.
Good to see you too, Your Majesty.
Is Desmond with you all? I was hoping to run into him at some point.
Nah, I still haven't seen him since the whole mess with Salacity a few months back. By the way, you ever figure out a cure for that curse on your little sex island?
Frederick blushes and bristles. Might I remind you, priest, that Farmington is a very reputable and well-established country that deserves more respect.
Ah, so you too have heard his speech as well.
It was to a madame last time.
First of all, Salacity was a powerful fiend, not just a madame. And secondly, last time was actually a knowledgeable witch, and she listened.
This quest of yours sounds like it's going to get you in some trouble. Even now, if you lose in our chess games, you're going to owe me a big favor.
And you will owe my kingdom a visit once I defeat you. Farmington needs your expertise, and I won't rest until we have it. He hurries back over to the chessboard with renewed determination. Several of his pieces are missing, and he shakes his fist at the nearby gargoyles, who are all frozen in mischievous shrugs.
What fun. Anyway, we took lunch about an hour ago, but there are some leftovers in the kitchen, so at least get some tea. And no, the no-touch rule does not apply to the kitchen. Mr. Goat. Actually, I don't think I caught your names.
Rail, but Mr. Goat or whatever else will do.
Reverend Garterville, at your service.
Rael, I assume you'd like some pine needles and apples, wouldn't you?
Rail perks up, his tail wagging.
Oh, golly, would I? How'd you know?
Surprisingly enough, we have someone here who is a lot like you. Schult, go fetch her, would you? I think you all would get along.
Is she in her room, my lady?
Destiny closes her eyes, puts a finger to her forehead, and then sighs.
No, she's snooping around my study, per usual.
The butler nods wordlessly and ducks into the tower's front door.
While that's happening, Reverend Velt... Wait, Reverend? Aren't priests usually fathers?
I'm ordained in the Church of the Divine Majesty. With us, the father title only applies to those that have a congregation.
Interesting. Hopefully the entity won't mind the distinction. Either way, how might we go about this exorcism? This is fun and all, but I've got an important meeting in a few days, and it would be nice to have the whole business done with quickly.
First, we gotta find out if it's fae, fiend, or undead. Then we can narrow down a fix from there. Give me 1 second. We might cross off a category from our list right now.
Garter's eyes flash purple, then he scans the tower and the surrounding area. Nothing looks amiss in the tower, but a sheen of rotten light, like a dirty oil slick, gleams around the silhouettes of the two laborers in the garden. He squints and realizes that there are not people in those cloaks, but scorched skeletons.
Oh, snap. Well, there ain't no undead in the tower, but you got two tilling your fields right there.
Ah, right. Those are accounted for.
Okay, then. Well, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. What activities have you been experiencing that make you suspect a haunting?
Just then, Schult emerges from the front door with someone short in tow. She is, like Rail, an upright goat. Unlike Rail, however, she is wearing a cozy cardigan and a long skirt with riding boots. Her puffy, pale hair runs to her shoulders, and in her hands is a small picnic basket smelling of autumn and forest.
She was indeed in your study, my lady, again.
Schultz, shush! Oh, hi there, sir. I'm Clover. It's very interesting to meet another goat person.
Rail recoils, his smile dropping into open-mouthed astonishment.
Clover? It's me, Rail!
Clover drops her picnic basket, her hands flying to her mouth.
You know one another.
Yeah, Garter. She's the one I told you about, back in the dungeon.
Garter thinks. They had chatted about Rail's past a few months ago during a dungeon crawl, but the only two women Rail had mentioned were Levon, the devil which turned him into a goat, and an old partner to whom he had been unfaithful. This goat girl certainly didn't seem like Levon.
I'm his betrothed.
Clover springs on Rail and hugs him tight, tears squeezing from her closed eyes. He returns the hug as best he can, stunned. He and Garter trade a wide-eyed look.
This truly is great, but we really should be getting on with the exorcism. Clover, why don't you and the hubby go have a picnic in that clearing you like so much?
Okay.
Clover excitedly grabs her picnic basket in one hand and Rail's wrist in the other, then hurries off around the side of the tower.
I'll be praying for you, man. Good Lord.
Schult, ensure that our other two guests are properly refreshed and attended to.
The butler nods and disappears into the tower.
So, you'd mentioned activity. Well, first, the gargoyles have gotten jumpy. They never acted like this since I first took over the tower and adopted them all 5 years ago.
Hold up, what you mean by jumpy? Aren't they just statues?
Of course not. Anyways, next, were things showing up where they shouldn't be? Brushes, notebooks, pocket watches? Could be Clover nosing around like always, or Schult tidying up, or the unseen servant, but sometimes things would move while I'm the only one in the room.
Unseen servant?
It's a spell. Lastly, I catch shadows moving. It'll be in the corner of my vision, like they are trying to blend in and act natural right before I look at them. You'll see soon.
Garter nods and murmurs a prayer. The pair enter the tower. The first room is a kitchen, with a main table, dried goods on shelves, spices on racks, and a few barrels of liquid. Schultz stands before a fire, waiting for water to boil. There is a drow in dark robes seated at the kitchen table, eating an apple and reading a thick tome.
That is Damon. He is here with Frederick for a bit and is helping with the garden.
Damon looks up. He and Garter trade a nod. Destiny then leads Garter upstairs to a small landing. There is a starry blue bedroom to the left and a frilly yellow one to the right. Neither seem haunted. The same applies to the next floor, with its closets and cupboards. Before they ascend to the top floor, Destiny pauses.
You seem nervous.
Just keeping an eye out for the entity, ma'am.
I can guarantee you I'm not the entity, if that's why you're shrinking away from me.
Well, you did point a wand at me first thing.
Precaution.
I also spoke to the townsfolk for directions here. They said when you get angry, you be turning people into mice and have them tortured by monsters for hours.
That's rather hyperbolic. The polymorph's hex only lasts for 1 hour, and I'd hardly call my gargoyles monsters. They're more like winged raccoons than anything else.
Oh, okay. So you don't actually be turning folks into mice then?
This next area is my study, where the more dangerous items are, and where I've seen most activity. Mind your tail.
Garter holds his tail close as they climb the stairs and emerge into a small library office, crammed with reams of parchment, shelves of potions, and stacks of reference tomes. An invisible force is tidying up on a large desk and tucking notes into drawers. A ladder leads up through the ceiling, and there is a telescope huddled in one corner. That telescope is radiating an aura of darkness and misery so powerful that Garter stops in his tracks. He can see a sinister silhouette looming behind the item, and gleaming eyes are reflecting in its glass.
Okay, on second thought, I can just meet you in the kitchen.
Oh, you don't want to investigate?
I ain't taking one more step in there. For the sake of time, Don't want to take up too much of your time, that's all.
Garter tries to look nonchalant, but with his coiled tail, ruffled scales, and trembling hands, it is overwhelmingly obvious to Destiny that the priest is scared. She smirks.
Fun. The corroboration is nice.
Garter gives a weak smile and pretends to review his notes. Destiny saunters into the office, casting about with deliberate slowness before noticing a note on her desk.
What do we have here? Ah, Clover's inventory report. It's about time. And of course, she writes up the longest grocery list when we have guests over. Let's head back downstairs. I'll need to do some math and figure out how many gargoyles we will need to send on this supply run.
Okay, we can head downstairs and I'll have a plan together by this evening.
Excellent. After the math, I might even see what extra help I can get you.
Garter nods and starts down the stairs before Destiny even makes it halfway towards him.
You'd do best not to slip about too much, priest.
Garter nearly jumps out of his scales.
Reverend, try not to trip.
Yeah,
The two descend the stairs. Meanwhile, Clover and Rail have set up a picnic of apples and pine branches in a field a short walk from the tower. The fog remains, but is much lighter. Before them glitters a pearly pond. Tree shade dampens the overcast afternoon glow from above.
Aren't you hungry? You haven't touched any of your snacks.
Rail takes a deep breath, then kneels and bows before Clover until his head nearly touches the ground.
Clover, I ran away because I cheated on you with a succubus. This new form is my penance, and even though my curse muddles my mind, whenever I can, I think back on how I betrayed you, and I can't imagine a punishment more fitting. I beg for your forgiveness, not for my own sake, but so that you may not have to suffer the thought of me any longer.
Rail gets no response for a few moments, then small hands gently pull him by the horns. Clover smiles sadly at him, cupping his face.
It was Levon, that contractor you were working with at City Hall.
It was.
Bah, I figured. It's fine, Rail. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Huh? Are you sure it's fine?
3 years was a long time to heal. Besides, I saw it coming. The way you'd look at her when you mentioned her, the late nights at the office, you buying her little gifts. It was going to happen eventually.
She serenely spreads jam over toast for herself.
Golly, Clover, I can't believe you stuck by my side through all that. I didn't deserve someone like you.
Bah! I was a terrible fiancé.
What? Of course not. You were the best fiancé ever.
Really? When was I the best ever then?
Rael draws a blank. It isn't because the moments don't exist, but because the haze in his mind seems to almost aggressively not want him to remember. Something bobs to the surface and he snatches it.
The three-legged races at the annual fair, out by Old Jerry's Hill.
Bah! Bah! That was when I was the best fiancé ever?
Just one of the many times. I remember we would always do so well because of you. And then we would always trip up near the end because of me. Even though you'd always come out more banged up than me, you made sure I got patched up first. You were always so selfless and gentle.
Clover squirms a little with delight, glancing away bashfully.
No, you're just saying that.
Because I mean it. You did the kindest things for folks, like that apple loaf and your strawberry jam. It was so tasty, and you loved to surprise people with it. I could smell it back in the tower. You even made it for your new friends here.
My new friends?
Hey, are you sure you're fine? This was a super crummy shock.
This has been good. It was a big surprise when you left. I thought you would have talked to me first, like we'd promised, back by the fountain at Windvane Hall.
We were so hopeful back at the academy. I wish I didn't muck everything up. Clover, I just never wanted you to see me like this.
Don't worry. I still think you're cute. Oh, Rail, are you getting flustered?
A pretty gal like you saying that stuff is bound to make a guy blush. Oh, golly, wait. Why are you a ghoul, by the way? Was it because of me?
No, this was unrelated.
Ah, right. I guess that makes sense, since you have the hands and feet and I've just got the hooves. Plus no tattoo, I see.
Clover nods along, not meeting his eyes. Clover was very honest when she and Rail were together. Her lying was so odd and infrequent of an occurrence that Rail could easily pick up on the tells, like the wince in her eyes and the dips at the corners of her mouth. Both are present now, along with a concerning, almost hysterical tremor.
Look, I really don't want to annoy you with this, but are you sure you're fine?
Clover suddenly jets to her feet, her eyes wide and intense.
3 times, Rail.
Sorry?
And now you're apologizing? Who are you? Why are you still asking me if I'm fine? You never cared when we were together. Stop being all sweet and loving like we're back at the academy.
Chloe, you deserve
Nothing! I don't deserve anything, because I'm nothing compared to her.
Well, that's just not true. Wait, huh? Her who? Destiny?
Levon! She's perfect! She's so much better than me. She's a goddess!
Clover, what? Levon is extremely dangerous. Where is this coming from?
Clover tries to form words but blubbers over into sobs. Rail walks up to her and puts his arms around her. She cries into his shoulder for minutes on end, and he wordlessly embraces her through it all. Eventually, she cries herself into a sniffling quiet.
We'll figure this out together. Let's just get at the roots first, okay?
The roots?
Rail suddenly realizes how foggy the clearing has gotten. It's so thick he can barely see the pond, and the peak of the Tower of Destiny is the only distant structure visible.
Hey, let's maybe...
But Clover is gone, with nothing but curling mist in her wake.
Clover?
He takes off in the direction of the disturbed fog. The fog is far thicker than Rail expected, and he is soon stumbling blindly through milky gray. Every now and then he spots a small boot print, but he can't make a trail from them. Suddenly, there is a door before him, freestanding, jutting from the fog amongst the brush. It is narrow and tall, made of rouge glass, gleaming despite the forest gloom. The fog seems to be spilling up from its base. Rail glances around for Clover, but the fog is too dense. He lightly knocks on the door.
You in there, Chloe?
Just a minute.
An icy horror settles over Rail's body. He could recognize that voice anywhere. But surely that is impossible. He takes a step back, stunned.
Don't move. I'll get the door for you.
He is hoping this is all just a dream. The door opens before he can do anything else. Smirking down at him is a curvaceous half-elf with caramel skin and fluffy white hair. She wears a rouge sweater and a matching earring. Her pink eyes glitter unreadably. There is writing scrawled down her thigh. but Rail is unable to read that, too.
Réel, ça fait longtemps.
Levon?
Next time on Fables of Four.
The devil would need some sort of fetish or portal with which to sustain its connection. What is the overall strategy at play here?
I was figuring that was what you wanted to clue me in on yesterday.
Do you know how Clover turned into a ghoul?
You know, there would be a wizard duel back in the day over disputes like these.
What are you going to give me in exchange for turning you back?
I simply cannot allow you in there, even if it deems me a suspect, sir.
The mystery continues.